The man tore off a piece of his skin. After tearing it off, he looked at it carefully. Then he put it in his clothes, afraid of being found by others. His name is David. He was once bitten by 8 zombies. However, he not only did not mutate, but also gained special abilities. All zombies dare not attack him, and even obey him. One day, a group of robbers kidnapped him. The robbers did not hurt him, but wanted to use his ability to help them steal medicine from the pharmaceutical factory. David refused them. The robbers then kidnapped his friends to threaten him. He had to agree. Then, when the other party was not paying attention, he spit into their cups. The unsuspecting woman picked up the water cup and drank it all. Something magical happened. David raised his hand, and the female robber also slowly raised the muzzle of her gun. He found that he could control her actions. David wanted to try again. This time, he didn't even move. Just with the thought in his mind, he could make the female robber fire. The gunshot immediately attracted others. He thought David was going to run away, and hurried to grab the pistol. During the dispute, he was scratched on the arm by David. Could this also be controlled? David decided to try. The man was about to drink water, when he suddenly stopped his action, then slowly handed the water bottle to David. It turned out that scratches could also control people. Then they came to the factory. The zombies here were more crazy than those outside. David couldn't help but feel a little scared when he saw this. He was not sure if he could succeed. The robbers were very angry about this. David took the opportunity to bite him. The robber who was in pain took out his pistol, but David was not afraid at all. After all, he was still useful to them. As expected, David walked into the factory under their coercion. These zombies seemed not interested in him. Then he turned on the factory's alarm. The loud noise attracted the surrounding zombies away. The robbers also successfully entered the factory. Excitement appeared on their faces. These medicines were enough for them to make a lot of money. The man asked David for help, but he was naturally unwilling, so the robbers decided to kill him. Fortunately, his friends arrived in time. Suddenly, several zombies rushed in and ate the remaining robbers clean.
I stuck out my tongue and pretended to be dead. But the Soviet soldiers saw through my trick at a glance. Seeing that I kept still, they decided to make fun of me. One soldier unzipped his pants. I couldn't help moving a little, and just like that, I became a prisoner of war. Soon after, I was forced to join the mine clearing team. Our daily task was to help the Soviet army clear mines. To boost our courage, they also prepared vodka for us. They said that once drunk, we wouldn't feel afraid anymore. They threw a helmet into the minefield. The helmet was blown to pieces in an instant. Then they ordered me to retrieve the helmet. I walked forward slowly. Meanwhile, the Soviet soldiers threw mud at me from behind. Fortunately, I managed to avoid stepping on any mines. During the day, I walked at the very front of the troops. At night, I had to dig trenches. I met a kind man here. He taught me skills to avoid mines. In summer, there are few weeds around mines. In winter, the ground near mines freezes. As for spring and autumn, one can only rely on luck. With this little trick, I narrowly survived every time. That prisoner also told me that I could walk home along the railway tracks, so I made up my mind to escape. At night, the Soviet soldiers gathered together to party. I couldn't resist sleepiness and fell sound asleep. I dreamed of my wife waiting for me at home. I suddenly woke up with a start. Remembering my escape plan for tonight, I immediately tore off a wooden board. I tied it firmly with a rope, and then threw it outside. I never expected that. The wooden board would get hooked on the Soviet political commissar's chair. The next second, the commissar stood up abruptly. I fell heavily to the ground. My escape plan was completely ruined. But because I could speak Italian, the Soviet army didn't kill me. One day, they captured an Italian soldier and asked me to help with the interrogation. Facing the Soviet soldier's fists, he tried to hold on and refused to talk at first. But he couldn't stand the continuous beatings. Finally, he betrayed the garrison positions of both the German and Italian armies. When I translated it, I deliberately only mentioned the Italian army's positions. I didn't say a single word about the German army. The next day, the Soviet army launched another attack. The commissar held a loudspeaker high to boost morale. The soldiers charged at the enemy positions in response. But because the intelligence was wrong, the Soviet army suffered heavy casualties. As a prisoner of war, I charged at the front. I was blown over by a cannon and fell into the river. I struggled to climb ashore. Then I saw a German soldier aiming his gun at a Soviet female soldier. I hesitated for a moment, then shot and killed that German soldier. This shot meant that I had completely become a traitor. The rescued female soldier was acquainted with the commissar, so she begged for mercy for me. From then on, I didn't have to clear mines anymore. I only needed to guard the prisoners at the back. At that moment, I felt confused. I would rather continue to clear mines, so I threw away the wooden stick in my hand.